Hey, it's Cobra here at MaddenGuides.com. And for this video breakdown, I want to take a look at something you can do to create a matchup on the defensive side of the ball that's going to help you get some pressure on a quarterback. And the nice thing about this is you don't really have to blitz. I mean, if you want to, you can. And we're actually going to have a little bit of a blitz here, but that's not so much what we want to show. What we're trying to show is a matchup. In a lot of football, whether it be high school, college, or even, of course, in the NFL, what you're looking for is matchups, whether it be on offense or defense. Maybe on offense, you're looking for a receiver who's faster than the corner that's covering him. So you're trying to get him matched up with a slower corner, or maybe you're trying to get a running back going out on a pass route, on a wheel route, and you're trying to get him matched up with a slower linebacker. So it's all about matchups. Even the same thing on the defensive side of the ball. You can do certain types of matchups that can create advantages for the defensive side of the ball, and that's what I want to focus in on here. So what I want to do here is just go on the field real quick here and just show you a play and that we're going to run here. And for this breakdown, what we're going to do here is we're actually going to run, as you look at your screen here, we're going to run this play right here on the defensive side of the ball. It's called Cover 1 LB Blitz Press. Now, again, we're not looking to get pressure as far as from the linebacker that's blitzing. What we are looking to do is get some pressure from one of the defensive linemen. I'm going to show that to you as we get into here. And I'm going to show you how something you can do that will allow you to get that pressure. As far as the offensive play, we're just going to go ahead and use this one out of the gun doubles. It's called Curl Combo as you're looking at it. So it's going to be this play here. And the teams that we're using for this breakdown are the San Francisco 49ers on defense and the Cardinals, Arizona Cardinals on offense. So let's just go ahead and get on the field here. And what I want to do is I'm not going to make any kind of adjustments or anything like that. I just want to run the play. And one of the things I do want to focus in on as you look at it is this one defender in particular, and the defender is going to be right here, which is going to be our defensive end. His name is Nick Bosa, and most of you guys know he's a stud as far as bringing pressure on a quarterback. And I want to just go ahead and run this play as is without making any adjustments here. And ideally what you would like to see him do, because he is an X factor, is to get pressure off the edge here and get to a quarterback pretty quick. So let's just go ahead and run the play. Again, I'm not going to control him or do anything like that. I just want you guys to watch the play being ran there. Right there, he doesn't really get in there. So what you're hoping for is that maybe he'll create some pressure and get in there. Now, one of the things we're going to do here is we're actually going to move him around because we're going to try to match him up with the weakest offensive lineman on the Cardinals team. So let's go ahead and go into the depth chart here. And let's just take a look at in particular, what I want to look at mainly is going to be the Cardinals depth chart, because that's where I'm looking to get this matchup at. So let's go look at the left tackle here initially. And as you look at the left tackle, he's not real good. As you can see, Humphreys isn't really that good. He is a 73, which is nice for us as far as we do have an advantage, obviously, with Bosa, because he's a much higher rated player than that on the defensive side of the ball. Let's work our way down here to the left guard. Now, this guy here is a 76. He's not really all that good, but, you know, he's decent, a little bit better than the other guy. So that's one of them. So let's go back and look at that left tackle. We got a 73 left tackle. We've got a 76 left guard, which is a little bit better. And then we're going to look at the center here. Now, the center is kind of interesting because he is a 65 overall. Let's go take a look at his pass block rating. Just take a look at that and see if it's something we might be interested as far as doing a matchup. Because right now I have a feeling this is probably going to be the worst of the bunch as far as pass blocking goes here. He's a 70, so he's not exactly or 68, sorry about it, he's a 68, so he's not exactly a great pass blocker either. So I'm definitely digging that as far as matching him up with Bosa, and that's probably what we're going to do. Let's keep going on here. Here's a 74 right guard, decent player again. And let's go ahead and look at the last one, the right tackle, which is a 79. So he's probably the one we don't want to match up, the least one we want to match up with. So let's go back into the actual game here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and call this same play, but I'm going to make a substitution. Now, again, if you're going to do this, you might not want to do it on every single formation, and so you wouldn't want to sub him in globally, but maybe in a nickel formation, nickel normal, which is a good, pass defense. It's more for a pass type of formation that you might use. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and sub in Bosa. We're going to move him around. So what we're going to do is we're going to put Armstead, who's actually a pretty good pass rusher in his own right. We're going to move him over to left end, and then we're going to slide inside This guy right here, DJ Jones, not such a good, he's all right, 72 overall, but he's not great. Look at Bosa at 86. So we're going to move him into the weak side defensive tackle spot in just a nickel normal formation. And with that, that's going to help us out as far as getting pressure on the quarterback. So what I want to do is I got a couple different examples of defenses that we can run. Let's go back in here and get on the field, actually. But I do have a couple different examples here that I want to show. So the first example here, as you can see on your screen, as you're looking at it, you can see that Bosa is lined up. If you look at it, he's lined up right over here in this area here. He's lined up between the left guard and the center. And what we're hoping here is that the center, remember, he's the one that's got that lower rating. We want to try to get him matched up with Bosa. Now, the key to that is, especially in the nickel normal formation, sometimes what you'll see happen is this left guard, along with the center, will initially look to block him. We don't want him getting double teamed because we're trying to get him matched up one-on-one with the center. So that's one of the reasons that I called this blitz defense that I'm showing here, this out of the nickel normal, is that I want this linebacker here. I want this linebacker here to go ahead and get the pressure on the quarterback, or not quarterback, but I want him to blitz. So that way, this guy, this left guard, looks to block him. So that's the idea of that. That's the reason I call this defense in particular, is because I'm wanting to get a setup like that where I can get that left guard to go ahead and block him. Then, with that said, it's going to go ahead and get this guy, the center, looking to block Bosa. And as I told you earlier, we have a nice matchup here on that favors us on the defensive side of the ball, because we have a better defensive lineman matched up with the weakest offensive lineman on the Cardinals. So we got our best defensive lineman matched up against their worst offensive lineman. Also, one other thing, if you think about this, say that Bosa was lined up over here and he was coming off the edge getting pressure there. Now, isn't that further away to get to the quarterback than, say, getting here? You can tell by just what I'm showing here, it's shorter distance for him to go up the middle than it is for him to go from over here and try to rush the quarterback, such as what you see on the screen. So if we move him inside, plus we get him matched up against a weaker offensive lineman, the advantage certainly goes to us. So there's no harm in doing this. Also, throw in the fact that you got this defensive lineman over here. His name is going to be Ford. So if you look at him, this guy right here, he's also a pretty good pass rusher in his own right. He can get some pressure on the quarterback. He's a star player and has a nice pass rush rating as far as getting to the quarterback. So now we end up having him as well as Bosa. So we have these two guys, both who can get pressure on the quarterback. Plus, we're going to control Armstead, as I said earlier, who's also a good pass rusher. And we're going to control him and try to use some of the moves that we got with him. In particular, I believe it's going to be a power move that we're going to use to try to blow by the left tackle. So we've got three good pass rushers coming after the quarterback, which makes it pretty nice without having to do a whole lot. And we still have some decent coverage behind this defense. So let's go ahead and run it and just watch what happens here as far as with Bosa. See, Bosa is able to get in there and get pressure. And as you go back, and if you were to go back and rewind this just a little bit, let's go back here to about right. Let's go back just a little bit here and rewind it. As you go back and look at this, you can see that not only are we getting pressure here, not only are we getting the pressure right here coming from this guy, which is the guy that we moved in. This is Bosa putting the pressure in right there, but we're also getting pressure from the outside, the guy that we're in control of, and then Ford off the edge as well. So we got three guys that are getting in there and putting pressure on a quarterback. So that's nice without having to do a whole lot. And so if you have this type of personnel on your team, not all teams have this obviously, but if you can find ways to match up guys and get yourself a better chance of getting pressure, why not do it? And this is a good example of that. All right, let's go into the example 2 that I want to show here. And again, watch what happens here as you're watching this. So go ahead and focus in. Go ahead and focus in on Bosa, but I also want you guys to watch those ends as well. So you got this guy here, these guys here. I want you guys to go ahead and focus in on it and watch what happens here. We're not going to actually get a sack from Bosa, but he is going to make the pressure. He's still going to get pressure up the gut. And that means this forces this quarterback. So this quarterback cannot step up into the pocket here because of that pass rush that's coming from Bosa. And plus, as you look at it, we still got the edge coming off the edge, the guy that we're in control of, and then Ford, who's bringing that pressure off the edge over here. So we got all three of these guys, again, getting pressure. Doesn't mean Bosa's going to get the sack, but because he's able to get through, because he's matched up against a weaker offensive lineman, it takes away our opponent's ability to step up into the pocket, allow us to get pressure on the outside. So that's kind of the examples I'm trying to show here. I'm trying to show you how you guys can create matchups even on the defensive side of the ball. I think sometimes that we don't look at that. We look more at the offensive side of the ball and look how we can create matchups. But even on the defensive side of the ball, you can create matchups if you look at the ratings and find these X factors and star players who can cause havoc on the offensive side of the ball as they're pass rushing the quarterback. So hopefully this is something that you guys can use that's going to allow you to maybe move some guys around, make you think about what you got on your depth chart as far as on your team that you've chosen to use, whether it be online or in an online league, or if you're just playing in a hot seat next against a friend of yours that's just sitting next to you. So again, hopefully this video will help you guys out.